let's start with an ex-international, Victor Agali.
Oh nah.
I know you must have seen. He appeared on a
Home
podcast,
Turf.
the Home Turf podcast, and he came out to say that there's a money from FIFA allocated for ex-internationals. Some pension funds for ex-international, and he came out to say that till date he hasn't received any, and he was so sure. He sounds so assured that the money is coming, but he hasn't received any, and he knows people who hasn't received, but he's so sure that the money is coming. He refused to mention names, but I think the NFF have come out to debunk that, and it was sparking a whole lot of debate on social media. Now, Victor Agali, people have come out to say Agali, even if at all there is, Agali didn't play up to 20 games for the Super Eagles, so why would he be asking for such pension right now? But I don't know. I'm going to put it to you because
Nigerians are bad people.
What do you make of the first off? We need to establish if truly there are funds for ex-international, and then we'll go on to Agali if he should be the one saying such and all that. So what do you make of all those statements?
Nigerians are mean.
Because
What does it mean? What does it mean that if you've played 20,
people have come out to say, that's another entitlement from an ex-international.
Agali is my
guy
guy
and all that.
So
But
there is no way anything I will say here now will not be misconstrued to mean that I'm disrespecting him. But I want to read something. Let me read this. It's going to be a long read, but let me just read it. And it's from someone that I respect. It's a FIFA license agent, somebody who work within the FIFA space. And because what he wrote is exactly what I would have written. And when I said I just reshared it, right? But I don't want to sound like it is my opinion. It is Israel. His Twitter handle, his X handle is at Israel_Ajoje. Israel_AJOJE. He wrote this in response to Agali. He said, to be frank with you, this is not very accurate. As far as I know, FIFA doesn't send any money to federations for retired players. The only payment I know that FIFA allocates to players is the FIFA Fund for Football Players, FFP. And it is more a FIFA Pro project than a FIFA project even. So let's go to the crux of the matter. It is essentially a safety net designed for situations where the system has already failed the player. Try and understand this system that we're talking about now, club football, not the national team, but I would explain, we will get there. It was created in 2020, long after Agali had retired. 2020 is just 6 years ago, during the COVID era. Through a collaboration between FIFA and FIFPro, the fund targets a specific problem within the football industry: unpaid wages that players have little to no realistic chance of recovering. This typically arises in cases where clubs collapse financially, enter bankruptcy, or deliberately restructure themselves as so-called finished club that die and rise again. So in case people like what's a finished club? Okay, some club will collapse and then another club will emerge from that collapse, right? Even after a player has gone through formal dispute mechanisms such as the FIFA Dispute Resolution Chamber and he has got a judgment in his favor, enforcement becomes practically impossible. That is where the fund steps in. You should know, however, that the fund does not guarantee full repayment of outstanding. Say, for instance, your club is owing you, like when Postman was owing Kanwanko in millions. That fund will not take up that money. They'll give you small money, like, okay, just owe this one, like transport money, like palliative. Right, let's just put out that they give you a palliative. The money doesn't get past 20,000, the maximum. So, but let me read. You should know, however, that the fund does not guarantee full payment of outstanding salaries. Instead, it provides limited financial relief in the form of a grant. You see it? It's not even a gift. It's not even a right. It's a grant. The compensation is modest relative to typical contractual entitlement, often averaging around $9,000 and capped at roughly $20,000 per player. So you can't even get more than $20,000. That's the cap. Once the relief fund that got to you in trenches has hit 20,000, but your matter don't end. You don't know. Go and live for your life per player. In that sense, it operates more as humanitarian support than as a legal remedy. So you cannot just even go and say, they don't pay me. Like players in the NPFL that are not being paid now, they can't just go there. Remember that you will go through the FIFA chamber, you will protest, you pay a lawyer. Before you know, you would have spent more than this money that they will give you to go and try to get your resolution. Where do we stand? Financially, the fund was initially structured at around $16 million, with subsequent discussions pointing towards an expansion to $20 million. So for those who don't know, $16 or $20 million is not the money given to people. That's the money in the purse to operate. There are 205 FIFA member nations. So you have to understand that all of the players playing in those leagues are the ones. And none of this conversation, did you see anywhere where they say is for national team retiree? Well, let's just go on. It's almost over. Since its inception, it has supported over 1,000 players, many of whom come from lower tier leagues where financial instability is more pronounced. Ultimately, the FFP reflects an acknowledgement that in football, legal rights do not always translate into actual recovery. Hope you have learned something today. Now, Ina said, my name is Ajoji. I am a FIFA license agent and international sports lawyer. I write on law and business of football a lot. I write a lot of business football a lot. The rest, he asked that we repost and share and all that. The reason why I read that is that I saw many comments, the comment section, people calling NFFT, people saying all the things that they want to say. Like people come in my comments and say, you have a chance to interview the NFL president. You didn't ask him solid question. There was no question to ask. Right? See, people like sensational stories. That's what I've noticed. People like sensational stories. When I come here and I say that our ex-international are this, or that, people always come to my attack and say, if you don't know what you're saying, you're being rude, you're being disrespectful, you're beefing, you're hating on them. I can't beef people that I don't have anything to benefit from, to be very honest. Having said that, Agali is my guy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, Agali is my guy. It's come through my special delivery podcast. We talk almost all the time. But what is said on that podcast is a lie. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's not get to the point now where because my guy does it now, I'm not sugarcoating it. It is a lie. And these are the kind of comments that creates problem, that makes you, the NFF, they are thief. It doesn't mean that the NFF are competent to, but on this one, I was trained and taught to. I worked in a law firm for 5 years. And one of the things that Barrister Paul Musa taught me is that learn to deal with individual matters, briefs on their individual merits. If somebody they thief every day, the day where you know they're around, something come miss, don't include the person's name on the suspect list because he wasn't there when that thing was brought in and he wasn't there when the thing got missing. Let's focus on the people that were around. So on the individual merit of this one, this is a lie. It's like and people were like, somebody tagged me and said that you won't say anything now, and I said, but this is a lie. The guy said, why am I saying that? This is a top footballer. That why would he lie? And I replied to him, I said, even Thierry Henry lied. Thierry Henry was sitting on television and he told the world that where he used to score a lot at White Hart Lane. He scored only one goal at White Hart Lane. Do you understand? But he said, I used to score every time I go to White Hart Lane, I score. Not lie. That's Thierry Henry. So if Thierry Henry can lie,
sports ground, no.
Yes, and White Hart Lane is sports ground. Now only one time he scored. The 9 years he played at Arsenal, now only one time he scored for White Hart Lane. Prove me wrong. But that's a lie. People get excited when he said it. Mikel Obi said he paid for Delta Airline. Now lie. That you're a footballer does not mean you cannot lie. You're human. Humans lie. You understand me? And then it is not up to everybody to use facts to check it. The fact that somebody says something does not mean they cannot lie. This one a lie. Again, now let's use logic and common sense to think. Let's start from 1930, where the first World Cup was hosted. Stretch that till now. FIFA has been in existence since, and the FIFA started making proper money since 1970. So let's even take it to 1970, where the World Cup was first shown on color television and on television. So think about it for a minute. That if FIFA was paying money to every federation as pension scheme, what is the coefficient to measure it? Okocha played more than 10 years on the national team. How much will he get? Sonny Lisem played 10 years. How much will he get? Some people play 4 years, some people play 5 years, some people play 2 years, some people play 20 games. Yobo play 100 and something games. Ahmed Musa play 100 and something games. How much will they get? And then the ones that play, like you said, 20 games, how much will they get? What is their pension? In the video, he said he know a lot of people who have not received.
Yeah.
But he didn't mention anybody who have received it. I don't know if you, because I watched the video, he didn't mention, say, oh, this person, or maybe Motu Adepoju, maybe Okocha, or maybe Olise, or have received that money. Those are people who we know we can also verify. In the words of Peter Obi, we can go and verify. We don't need to go to Egypt or Bangladesh. We can verify these ones. So there is no money like that. It's just like when Peter Rufai died, and I saw a lot of people say, oh, abroad, this is what they do. Nah, lie. It is easy. What people have mastered here is that we like to use lie, but sound emotionally to make it look like it is the truth. And then when you come in to counter it, say, I've seen people say things like, Edafe, it's not like what you're saying is not true, but the way you're saying it is what is pissing me off. I'm not obligated to tell the truth in a way that it will please you. I'm not here to sugarcoat things for you. You don't like it, that's your business. But what is true is true, what is lie is lie. And if you lie, if somebody lie, yes, so they lie. There is no such money in the first place. FIFA does not pay pension to ex-international. Even clubs, sometimes when their players get injured or players didn't come back from international game on time, they want to sue FIFA. But at the end of the day, it gets better judgment. That's why you're making that decision, because you can't even win this case. They hold back. FIFA give money to club side when your players participate in international competition, like the World Cup, for instance. Now there is money that comes down, there is a compensation that comes down to the club that you can go and get. And then if the club decide that I want to share the money for my players, now their business, but now the club, now FIFA, not be the players themselves. And then the money you make from participating in this tournament, like the World Cup, they have found a way. Each federation, each national federation have a different way of negotiating. Some federation will say, if we go to the World Cup, if we will not pay you any bonus for any match, there's no winning bonus for any game. But if you win the World Cup, you see that money where FIFA will give us, we'll give you now. Make una share among ourselves. It happened with Germany in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And some other countries have different ways of doing it. That one is what you pre-negotiated before the tournament. Yeah. But then there are people who don't even negotiate that because they know their country not going to win now. Spain did not negotiate anything for 2010. So anything they get is luxury. Just like when we went to Cote d'Ivoire and came second, and then the president decided give everybody 100,000. It was not pre-negotiated. It was something that came as the spur of the moment. If another team now goes and comes second and start waiting that, maybe Tinubu is not in power, maybe 10, 20 years from now, another president is in power, and then they go and come second, and they say, because them Osimhen in 2021, when was that? 2024, sorry. Is 2024?
No.
2025, 2023, Cote d'Ivoire now.
Yeah.
They went to the Nations Cup. And then they gave them national honors, and they come second. They got 100,000. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not written. You didn't negotiate for it, right? We should always know that. So for me, I like to stick with the fact. I like Agali. He's a man I respect. He's a great guy. But what he said there is incorrect.
But should ex-internationals get pension?
No, they shouldn't get. They should. Whatever. See, what is pension? Pension is money that you contribute into a trust that you cannot withdraw from with interest. That is pension. Nobody has ever been given free pension anywhere in the world.
Because this story resonates with when John Fashion would come out to say that even the few games he played for England, that till date he still gets, that story. People are just looking for things to have a go at the NFF and all that, because they've not put themselves in good light.
NFF put themselves in a place where everybody can have a go at them. So, but even that's in the fashion. I interviewed. See, I'm one of a few people who can say I've interviewed all these people. And then when I hear people say, you always had on these guys, blah, 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 they will not like you. I don't interview them past your eye service people. I've interviewed all these people, sat in the same room, helped some of them to negotiate deals to go from what you can make them earn $2,000 to $250,000. I have done that. I have helped an Olympic team to go win bronze medal to qualify for the Olympics. And people say it's normal. After that, 2 Olympics up, I will never qualify. The next one we might not qualify for the football event. My point here is, when something is the truth, let's stick with it. You do not need to lie. You do not need to color it, to be sensational, to be able to pass a message across. Pension is not free money. Even that thing that Fashanu said, I interviewed Fashanu in Abuja now. We had a talk off the mic, and there's one thing is we both agree on. And I told him, I said, you see this thing that you're saying, what makes it bad when you go out there, you try to rubbish Nigerian football, is that nobody, do you realize that no Nigerian footballer in history have benefited from Nigerian government than John Fashanu? The area of land given to him as gifts by the Obasanjo government, nobody has played football for Nigeria from them Shego Odegbami, and before him them Teslim Balogu, the squad that traveled 1947 that went, 45, whatever, that went to go and play QPR with barefoot. Nobody has benefited like him. So we should put everything in proper context and a proper perspective so that we can have the way we say it. In Sun City in Abuja, the area of land that John Fashanu have to himself, am I jealous of him? No. He's made a name for himself and he walked into the right places. Like I used to tell Emmanuel Babayaruda, look, you and Amokachi and a few others were at the dining table, the table with Abasha and Al Mustafa, and you guys could not negotiate anything for yourselves selfishly or for the collective football industry. You guys deserve, you Amokachi and Co deserve any suffer will come your way. Any suffer, but thank God, they're still using their brand to feed. I'm not wishing them bad, but I'm just saying that's one time where footballers have so much powers to be on the table. They didn't negotiate anything for their industry. So let's not come here now and say things. Again, where is that money even going to come from? Where? If FIFA is sending pension scheme to every federation, 205 football nations, and then you count all the players that have played for those countries, for countries like England, Italy, Brazil, they've been participating in the World Cup. Let's even use World Cup participation as a criteria. Since that time, they won 5 World Cup, which means they played all the 5. FIFA go down bankrupt by now. Stanley Matthews ran this FIFA without money. Before Joao Valence came in, brought in Seblata, and they turned it into a money spinner. The FIFA was not a money spinning federation before. From its inception up until 1970. Let's not forget, it was in the 70s that Coca-Cola came in, TV money came in, and everything changed. So where is that money coming from? Because when we say these things in public, what it does is that it reinforces that conversation that footballers are illiterate. It reinforces, because business people will sit down and watch that video and do the maths. Ignorant folks would see the video and get excited and start pressing keypad. But business people really do business. People who cut checks would ask you, when you were playing, how much did you contribute into any NFF pension fund? So I was having it. Let me just add this. I was having a conversation with an ex-international. I'm not going to mention his name. It's very close. And one thing led to the other. He said that they were commuting from National Stadium Surulere to where, after they stopped using Sheraton, they were now using a hotel. And inside the bus, one joke leading to the other. They now said, we will form cooperative. You see that marble house on Akpangbo Bridge? That marble house that they said is 1419. Who they that have it that deceased? They said, we set a cooperative and use our money, talk to the Lagos State government at the time. This was leading up to the qualifiers to the 2000 Nations Cup, Ghana, Nigeria 2000, that they could, because we're not original host, it was later, right? That they could talk to the Lagos State government to give them a land that they will build apartments on. They will not need to be the ones to build it. They just need to call like a construction company, come, build it, and then give apartment to each one of them. And if they don't want to stay, they cannot lease it, give it to management company to manage and then keep money for them. Do you know that these players, looked at the guy that was speaking and called him names and told him that he's trying to use their head to create 419. I don't want to mention his name.
Mm.
But years later, those same players now say, boy, that thing that you said that time, you are wise. Oh, look at real estate companies everywhere. That thing would have helped us. Oh, but what I don't pass Gary. This guy says the most powerful tool you can have in life is leverage. Most of our ex-players have not leveraged on the brand that they built. They are now looking for free money because it's something that they have been used to. In one of our shows, I told you, one of the dangers of playing football is that it destroys your capacity to think. Because from a very early age, everything is done for you. They buy you boots. They pay for the bus that you enter from point A to point B. They buy the ball that you play. They buy the whistle that they use to officiate the game. The jersey you wear, the flight you travel on, they pay for it. Almost everything is taken care of by someone else. You don't know. And then you get paid for participating in the game. When the game stops, maybe you stop at the age of 35, 40. Let's just cap it at 40. That's when you now start training your children to school. You now start learning to do things yourself. The first 5 to 10 years, people would extort you because you don't know anything. You're not informed.
Yeah.
So the things you're supposed to pay $100 for, you pay $1,000 for. And then you keep paying like that. You keep it. Before you realize your money is finished. That's why footballers are like this. I saw the interview with Chisom. Very beautiful one. The fifth beautiful podcast by Chisom Mbono. I saw the Eboe's interview. And one of the things that was running in my head, how is it that now only footballers divorce that they take everything? Every other person divorce now 50%. You take 50%, I take 50%. Why is it that only footballers and most black footballers now when they divorce, the woman just takes everything? Something is fishy. But when you can like comment section. Comment section tells you a lot about the people. I always tell you that thing. That when you look at comment section, you know the kind of people you have. Like, post anything about government. Just watch the comment section. If you want to tell us whether we go fit come up for this suffering, just post anything about government and watch the comment section. It tells you that this suffering, it will continue for a very long time. So I look at comment section and people just commenting, being emotional. I was like, no, I can't be emotional with this. There's something wrong with this thing. This guy, as much as I empathize with him, he's not telling the whole truth. So it doesn't really make sense. But hey, it is what it is. This is life. Let's move on.
So ex-players ex-international shouldn't get pension.
If you contribute to a pension scheme, you can have. If you do not contribute, you cannot have.
But what do you think NFF can do, like for these ex-internationals?
NFF cannot do anything.
Keeps on coming out to complain or say one thing or the other. Listen. Because it won't be far-fetched. You might hear another ex-international come out to say one thing again about.
They should continue to do that foolishness.
So do you think the NFF, the hands are tied, or
it's not about the NFF hands are tied? First and foremost, the Nigerian Football Federation is the brokest football federation. Let me not say the brokest in the world, but it's among the brokest football federation in the world. You cannot live in a country where you agree when World Bank comes out to tell you that 140 million people are living below poverty line, and you think that your FA all of a sudden will be living like they are in Banana Island. It's not possible now. Football, again, let's be honest, football belongs to the lower rungs of economy in Nigeria. The economic structure, when the whole federal is... So, take it from the VIPs. Who is the VIP in our football ecosystem? The National Sports Commission, right? Mm-hmm. They do not attend the Federal Executive Council meeting. Dude, this thing I'm saying, I've said it many times, but people know they think of the impact. The guy who is your go-to person in government does not attend the meeting where the cake, the bread of the nation is being sliced. So they would have finished. Sports is an afterthought. So where you think say NFF won't get money to the cater for ex-international? I've also done a breakdown here. It's just that people want to hear what they want to hear. People want to believe what they want to believe. I've also done a breakdown here. One Super Eagles game, one game to prosecute one game alone costs between 250 to 350 million. Now, do basic ledger. They say the ledger is the principal book of account. What does the ledger do? It records cash inflow and cash outflow, profit and loss, right? So do a a a complete rundown of cash inflow for the NFF. Who are their sponsors? Put all of them together. How much do they bring in a year? Break it down. So if you have a 5 years contract of 5 million, know that it is 1 million per year. How much do they bring in a year? Then check the expense of the NFF. How much do they spend? How much does government give to the NFF in a year? Check the inflow. Again, we just went to the AFCON, right? We went to AFCON in Morocco. Every single penny that government released went to Shehu Diko and Olokpade. None of that money went to the NFF president or the NFF's treasury or account or secretary general. All disbursement was done by
to the NSC.
By the NSC. They pay players match bonus and who were there. It's not like somebody this one not be say now what happened. This is in reality. This is what happened during Sunday Dare. So this is what happened during Solomon Dalong. Let me give you a good example. When Sunday Dare was there, Amaju was the NFF president. There was a time NFF requisitioned 1.5 billion to prosecute a tournament. The money was released by government, but when the money got to NFF, it was 1 billion. Between National Federation's account and NFF, 500 million got missing. Nobody's asking a question. Again, when players are being owed money, now we'll talk of active players. Leave the ex players are, as far as I'm concerned, they useless their money. Now them know. When players go on strike in 2014, before we play France in the round of 16, the players were on strike. Jonathan loaded money in a plane and they went to pay them. People always say government have released the money, the NFF have eaten it. Do you think, and this is not today, in 1993, Nigeria versus Ghana, friendly match before the Nations Cup, before the World Cup, Steve Keshi and his team and his players, they held the nation to ransom. Ghana was in the field, players said they're not coming out of the dressing room. The late Air Commander Emeka Umeru, God bless his soul, went with Ghana must go, brought money, and they paid the players. I'm coming. It's not a good thing, but I'm just trying to explain to you that all this why NFF, they owe players, they owe players, they owe players. That's what they say. We have never for once seen the government prosecute any NFF or say the money we released to you to pay this thing, you didn't pay it. What happened to it? You know why? Because government need to release money to them. You can't prosecute somebody in vacuum. I don't know if you get my point. So all this talk of the steal, can you steal money in the NFF? Almost impossible. Can you use the NFF position to make money? Yes. Because it's an asset. How do they travel when FIFA invites you for any event? FIFA pay for your flights, for your accommodation, and for your feeding. Even your local logistics, FIFA cover it, and then they give you allowance. And then members of NFF, people that work within the NFF, lobby their way to get CAF job, like match commissioner during CAF Champions League, CAF Conference Cup. The pay is $10,000. At one time, in exchange, it means 90 million naira. How much you'll get working in the NFL. So all those opportunities. I remember very well, Shehu Diko, when he was appointed NSC chairman, he went to go and do match commission. You remember?
Yeah.
And I write him, I say, Oga, this might be a good job. Oh. You posting it that, oh, it was a good job. You went to do match. This is bad optics for Nigeria. That the minister of sports of Nigeria, he said they go do match commission. The reason why you do it not because you like the game, and because that $10,000 or how much what they won't give you. You can refer this job now to people, your subordinates, where the NFF or where the other places where you do them. But say now you they go do them, there is no minister of sports across the other 53 African countries that will do it. So for you doing it is bad optics to us. I don't know if you understand. Yeah. So put on anyhow you want tabulate it, and then come up for something. Saying that FA, that federation that spend that amount of money on Super Eagles, Super Falcons, under 17, under 20, and the rest of them that were never qualifying for those competitions, junior competitions anymore, will not have money to save aside as the NFF did. So that the old hotel bill from Uyo to Lagos to Abuja for different. Why do you think that all these Bolton Whites, all these hotels, they're still owing from 4 years, 6 years ago when Gusso entered? The NFF was owing 3.8 billion. It might still leave, the NFF will still be owing because government is continuous. I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm showing you the reality of what is on ground. This is the reality of what is on ground. So, how that kind of organization now go come see money, come put aside for pension, for players? Again, is there any organization in Nigeria? Because when you say some things, also ask yourself, is this practical? Because what you're doing is you are asking the NFF to subsidize the wasteful culture of Nigerian footballers. Why is nobody going on podcasts to say Nigerian footballers, you people are irresponsible with your wealth? Because if somebody who's working in a bank in Nigeria, earning 300,000, 200,000 naira a month, not a week, can put money into pension. You have Crusader pension, you have all this pension. Why is it that our footballers not fit come together during their days of spending lao, being large, renting private jet, going everywhere, buying Bugatti, buying Lamborghini, staying in some of the most expensive, not fit save for the raining days? Then when they now are old, they now start sitting in podcasts and now start lamenting. One person go die, you see people crying, oh, they left him to die like a fowl. Yeah, you go die like a fowl because take care of yourself. You're not planning. Say death because you not plan for them. Nobody's going to give a shit about you if you not take care of yourself. That is the truth. It happens all over the world. Martin Flamini is not trying to buy us now. You understand? He play football too. I've not seen any Nigerian ex-players, talking that kind of conversation. I saw the Ronaldinho. Let me just divert. I saw the Ronaldinho documentary. I didn't see any place where he came out and say, "Oh, Okocha taught me how to play ball," as Nigerians want to believe, because we like lie. We like living this fake life, this isolation life that makes us think what we think is better than the reality of life. There's no money to do it. People will not like me for this, but it's the truth. So asking for pension from the NFF is wrong in the first place. Do all the people will get pension so? Not be when they work. My uncle was the former CEO of Dodan Barracks, right? He worked 35 years in the Nigerian Army. His pension for the 35 years and 6 months that he worked in the Nigerian Army, they were deducting for every month for his pension. So now that money in they collect now. So you can't play for Nigeria. You didn't put any money aside. You don't have a proper players union. You people, when the players union come to you to ask for contribution, you shove them aside. You tell your bodyguard, your security, to make sure they don't let them consider that they are beggars. And then all of a sudden now you want to be the poster boy of asking for money from the NFF. You not go work now. What you sow is what you reap. You sow lack of interest in investing in a pension scheme. Now you are old. There's also lack of interest in responding to your needs. Take care of yourself. You must have saved your money. It's that simple. And when I see people comment on social media and you where they talk, so where you they work, they hope that they save pension for you.
Because he says, I mean, the NFF there've been several allegations, court cases, the FIFA queries, the probe from the House of Rep, the stadium in KB,
where does it end?
The stadium in KB controversies and all that. But I mean,
no, there is social media noise, but there's no probe actually.
I mean, there was one probe I think at some time where the House of Reps probed the NFF
it's
on
inquiries,
and
they gave them a
they've
clean
not been any
bill of health.
conviction. They've not been
No,
any.
they gave them. They said they were satisfied. People probe this country. Wait, you said they go probe NFF. This country they probe NDDC. The current speaker of the Senate was in charge of NDDC that time. They probed him. They got talking. Do you know how the probe ended? I've not seen any probe that ended like that. Honorable, off your mic, off your mic, off your mic. That is how the probe ends. So we don't know. It didn't come to a logical conclusion. You think that those same kind of people now want probe NFF and then can't recommend that they should be tried by a court and be sentenced to jail? The same people who knows. Let me tell you how Nigeria works. So that those people outside see when the NFF is going for AFCON or World Cup. If to say we qualify for this World Cup, this is how it works. When NFF submits a budget, AFCON was 1.5 billion, right? 1.5 about 2 billion. They cut it down to 1.5 billion. Now, when NFF, if to say we qualify for World Cup, this is what would have happened. NFF would have drawn a 4 to 5 billion naira budget. Your question is, how is that money going to be spent?
Yeah.
Pre-tournament training camp. FIFA not involved in that one. You do that. Pay outstanding bonuses for players for the qualifiers or whatever outstanding is in it. Because when you submit a budget to government, you don't just write one lump sum money. You put a line item, it's there. You line them what you want to do. You must tabulate and correlate, right? And then before it gets even to the hand of government, there are people in Senate, House of Rep, that have gone to the NFF to tell them that we are on your flight, Now you go take care of our flight. Now you go take care of our accommodation, and we get companion. Now Nigeria matter. So we could talk the way it be. I don't care who's hating me or who's not hating me. Our girlfriend, our wives, our children.
It happens, yeah.
Even this AFCON, you know the AFCON.
It happens.
You know the AFCON.
Yeah.
You don't see people where come. They're not going to do anything. They were not doing content. They were not writing story. They were on the bill of the NFF. They were camped in, when we were in Fez. You know that place where I went to go and see the Ademola Alajire them? They were camped in that, the whole hotel was full by people that, if you not take the, and then while we're still talking, there are journalists who, if NFF not carry them, that NFF president becomes a bad person. They start looking for slander to take slammer.
Right stories and all.
I make bold to say 22 years in this industry. My friend that I grew up with was NFF president for 8 years. I have not gotten any NFF appointment, and I've not flown on the plane that NFF paid for. So I'm not doing this like, oh, I'm one of those who benefit. No. The one time I did business with NFF, I paid $200,000 to the NFF to do a documentary on the team. It just didn't work. I still get, oh, sorry, whenever the NFF people see me, sorry for that project that failed. Though. I still get it. You don't deal when that happens. Yeah. But I'm just trying to make you understand this is how this country work. Whether una like, una believe, una like, una not believe, it's none of my business. But I'm telling you because I am in the front line. Don't stay in your abroad and get to the comment section and talk rubbish. I know because I've been on the inside. When I tell you that this is what happened, if you like, you give me points to prove that I'm lying. Don't come and insult me because some people now, instead of to give you points, unintelligent people want to attack you as a person. No, give me point to say this is the way you talk and lie. So by the time the bill come out, if the NFF say, Oga, no, we're not going to do that too, that budget will be slashed. They will cut it and make sure that they sabotage the team even before the first ball was kicked. It is always like that. Sometimes too, they will say, okay, we'll bring the money, we'll give you, like in the case of Amaju, 1.5 billion. Somebody took 500 million, gave him 1 billion. Next thing, they say, you need to carry 15 of my staff. The guy said, no, I'm not taking anybody from your team. Nobody is going. And the guy said, okay, we'll probe you. I say, and Amaju reminded him, if you go probe me, also write on that probe where that 500 million enter. That 500 million, we're supposed to join this money, where they approve, because I saw the approval sheet, where you can't give us 1 billion. So, please, add on to the probe. The probe died. Now, our country, if one scatter and they will not so go rebuild. So, all this talk of, the NFF will give pension to players, now, entitlement, and we not get basis. I am sorry. Now, this is where I offend my friends, people that I know. And this is where people come in and, you're always beefing. I'm not beefing anybody. You know why? The only money I am looking for, I keep saying, is luxury. To live a luxury life. To live a normal life, I get the money. I feed myself. If I not see shop, I get my friends. Then Professor Aruturigo and the rest of them. I get my friends where I go fit talk to my brothers, my family, where go take care of me. But you see, to live luxury life, to be able to carry this crew where I get, travel around the world, go do content, now I have the money where I define. So I don't need anybody's help or hand me down to come here and lie and try to be nice and lick anybody else. All now has the smell. I don't feel lick anybody else. Whether you are political appointed, elected or selected, or you rig election to get to your office, now your business. My own be say, no player that played for Nigeria deserve a pension. Nobody gets pension without contribution. I can't go to Stanbic IBTC now and say, I want to withdraw across the counter. You know why? I don't get account for that bank. So you cannot refuse to save for pension, and when you're old, you start talking about pension, and then start using emotional blackmail. FIFA is sending money. FIFA not send money to anybody. It's a lie.
Well, that's the crux of this conversation. I mean, Victor Agali has been trending. I mean, and this is a lesson. This is a message to active footballers, so that when it comes to your time where you're no more active, you don't go out crying for, pensions. You need to manage your funds, very well, properly, because footballers now are making money. Current
the funny thing
are really making money. So
you can currently put
handle their funds really well.
$50,000 into something. I was talking to one footballer who retired recently, and I sat with him and I told him, I said, listen, all this party that you're going, I'm not stopping you. It's your life. But if I were you, this is what I would do now. you still have a brand, you still have a name, you still have a personality, right? What you should do is start attending tech meetings. Call your team, attend a few tech meetings. When you hear that GT Bank is doing something major, reach out. I want to come. Even this GT food, whatever. I want to come, but you're not coming as a vendor. You're coming up there to come and sit and listen to people talk about money. You don't have to be a guest speaker because you're not guy there. You're not getting to talk. Not before they won't talk there. Listen. The mere fact that you show up in tech events, whether it is in LA, whether it's in Silicon Valley, whether it's in MIT, whether it's in Russia, in Dubai, show up, dress up, get your tag, show up. Soccer race is going on. Go there where they're talking the business. You would meet one person who wants to diversify, who wants to come into Africa and needs a face, and they know that you are from Nigeria or you are an African, they will do business with you. But if you keep going to this club, I'm not against clubs, so I also attended club my own fair share, but I'm wiser now. If you keep going to this club, keep doing all this beach party, pretty soon you will be broke. There's no spirituality to it. You can't pray your way out of foolishness, right? So if you go to those places, chances are that the contact you will make are like the Sholas of this world, the owner of Sporting Lagos, those kind of people, the tech people. You cannot sit down and say, you know what, let me put $150,000 here and wait for it another 10 years and see where it leads. You can afford to lose $50,000 and the world will not end, right? And those kind of things would grow you well, because this is the world we're going to. The world is mining tech every single day. Tech is where everybody is jumping on. You would be able to see the people. Yes, there are people who would still want to exploit you in that space, but there are people who would want to do good business with you. Some people don't even want your money. They just want your face, your name, your personality, your likeness, your image and likeness. They want it because it would pierce open doors. Your name open doors in every part of the globe. Use it now, because the longer you stay out of the game, the more irrelevant you become. It's a production line. It's a crate. All the crates, they are pushing. At some point, you become irrelevant. Now you're still relevant. Use it and use it very well. It is not up to him. You know, I know I know a player that in 2017, me and Toby Adepoju were talking. In 2017, I gave him an advice and I told him some of the things that are not happening will happen. Oh. He looked at me and like, who sent this one? Those things are not happening today to him. And he is drinking all the time, he's angry all the time, he's frustrated, he's calling people names. I'm just looking at him from afar because I told you this was going to happen. 9 years ago, I told you this was going to happen. Now that it's happening, it's none of my business.
Before we wrap this topic up, find out your... I know sometimes people don't listen to advice, but what can you say to current footballers right now so they don't fall in this situation where they
I
go
just
on
said
being entitled and all that, you know, in layman terms, just put it out there for them to... Let's just wrap this up and move to the next topic.
And I think there's something someone said to me, you know, not too long ago, maybe like 15, almost 20 years ago. He said, when you're making money, cultivate the habit of not changing your lifestyle. Cultivate the habit of living poorer than you earn, not living richer than you earn. They should get because see, the thing where they throw away person money pass my lifestyle. See where we did now. There is a particular way we live. If we get more money, obviously every member of the team deserve to have their own car. That one is a normal. That's a necessity. It's not a luxury. Also, having their own houses, it's a necessity. But once we get past there, the need to now buy 10 cars, that's a problem. That's a problem, especially when you're not around. I always advocate that once you get good money, change your crowd. People say, oh, it means you're a snob. No, you will still hang out with those your people. But listen, you see those people where you follow, they want to not get money. Well, all of a sudden you can't get money. All you can't get money. None of them is wishing you well. That is the truth. They don't like the fact that you're not richer than them. They might not say it, they might not behave it, but they would like to see you fall. And guess what? Who are the people who will go out there and tell everybody how you were wasting money? It's still them. Change your crowd. Start entering business meetings. Because you now have the money. If I have, let me tell you this, if I have something that brings me $100,000 every month, Otedola Mike Adenoga, Dario Tibu, Tony Lumelu. Now they're my friends. Oh. It does not mean that this set of people that are my friends now, I will knock them off. But those are going to be my friends because they are the ones who will be able to open mouth and say, this investment opportunity is available. This train is moving. Oh. And they are also richer than me. So there's nothing much that I have that they want to take. I learned that from them, Alibaba, them, Bovi, and the rest of them. Those people would show you the train that is moving. But if you still hang up with those your what's it called now?
Yep.
Takers as friends, you are not the source. You are not the malu where they want to the cut suya from. But if you go to that upper class, then they eat malu, then they eat meat. Now vegetation that they eat. That they eat to stay healthy. So nobody is trying to cut from you. They are trying to make you step up to their level. They will do everything. They will give you private jet for free. They will give you a VIP access to places that you ordinarily would have to pay through your nose for. All of those things matters in the final analysis to take care of yourself, to keep body and soul going, especially when you're coming from poverty. The worst set of poverty is for you to leave poverty, get very rich, and crash back into poverty. It depresses and kills. So spend less, show less, just be normal.
That's it. Pretty much sums it up. Just be normal, and we hope we don't get to see any of our current footballers going on podcasts.
Oh boy, I will love them there.
That they deserve pension and all of that. But I mean,
this one will they go on strike? I'm not just saying they go feed because let's not even talk about it.